Alrighty, fellas, good morning. Welcome to day, what I'm calling 1.5 in Shiny War, but actually it's only been about 12, I think it's been 16 hours, 16 and a half hours since Shiny War has begun. I stayed up until about 10 a.m. my time, and then I slept from 10 a.m. to 11:30. I slept an hour and a half after being awake for about 20 or so. I streamed for 15 hours, 14, 15 hours. Shiny hunted in the event for, what was that, like about 13 hours, I think. 13 hours we shiny hunted, slept for an hour and a half, and we are so back. And the goal here, I'm not going to do an hour and a half and have a full day, don't worry. I'm going to sleep an hour and a half, which I've already done. And I'm just going to stay up. I'm going to fix the sleep schedule, so we're going to go to bed tonight at like 10 p.m. or midnight. So all we have to do now is like shiny hunt for the next like 6 to 8 hours and just be chill about it. So that's our goal. That's our plan. I do have some Cranidos eggs that I can make, which is cool. Work a little bit more on that. I actually can pop, I think I have space. I can pop like 60 fossils. So we can do like a few fun things today as well while shunting. Right now we are doing this tranquil fungus spot. It's the best point per hour spot that I currently have access to. And it's actually like you don't have to use lepos, which is kind of cool. I spent about a Pokeyen on, what's it called? Yes, I'm not allowed to be in a shiny charm link on the Ironman account. Correct. Now, there actually is a few things that I wanted to discuss today. A little bit of some news, some things that must be mentioned. So, number one, the PokeMMO developers actually acknowledged Iron Man for what I believe to be the first time. Like, they really mentioned it. Someone brought up, like, Alakazam not having an encounter in Cerulean Cave and how Iron Man could not complete the Pokedex, I think, for a quick sec. Like, that was a real concern. I didn't really hear about this, thankfully, but I heard about it after, and I was like, yeah, that'd be a really bad thing. I don't want Iron Man, who like created an account afterwards, to not be able to complete the Pokedex. Being able to complete OT Pokedex is super huge. Having all of those trade evolutions have a lore spot is absolutely massive. And Rach was like, dude, this is a great thing to point out. We're gonna add a new Alakazam location to Route 215 to help Iron Man. And it wasn't really like, to be fair, I've always said that I don't want them to balance the game around Iron Man, but this was something where like an update came out, took away the ability for Iron Man to get complete OT Pokedex, which is just not, but previously they could. They took it away on just not thinking, on accident, and they were like, you know what, we don't want that to be the case. We're gonna add it back. I think that is, like, in my opinion, not balancing around Iron Man, but just like not hurting or like nerfing Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? I really like this. I think it's totally based and fine. As someone who does not want them to like buff certain things or increase certain methods just because I don't want Iron Man. This is a problem that we saw in old Skorupi, was like Iron Man choosing to play Iron Man accounts and then complaining that something was too slow and then getting it buffed for Iron Man specifically. And it's like, that's the whole point of the account, is to like play this challenge account, right? So we've got that, which is huge. And it's just seeing the developers be like, yo, like if anything else is negatively affecting Iron Man, let us know. Like, that is so interesting. Like, that's so cool to me. So Iron Man accounts being acknowledged, very interesting. And then next up, the devs talked about more attention being dedicated to PvE, which usually means like raids and dungeons and things like that, right? Someone left a nice comment, Effie Burke, the GOAT, left a nice comment about the update, which is really awesome. He was just like, thank you, and said you can expect extensive attention to be given to PvE over the next several months. Am I losing my mind, or is this the developers communicating their developing process and what they actually want to work on? Dude, this is amazing. This is the best fucking news of all time. And they even say, like, although it may seem excessive for 5 months to result in a reworked encounter table and making the Pokedex more informational and fixing certain bugs, behind the scenes, we've been spending a significant of time on technology to enable us to tackle the big data problems of this game. This is the kind of communication I think that players want. Literally just a heads up of like, oh, you're running into problems. Okay, thank you. Like, that's so good. I think a lot of people are always like, oh, why are there not more big updates? Why is there no Kalos? Why is there no this? And I always try to tell people, as someone who manages a YouTube channel myself, right, a small YouTube channel myself, I know that the day-to-day operations can just be so much. And the day-to-day, just doing the bare minimum can often take a 40-hour work week. And to do something anymore, you've got to put 60, 80, 100 hours in. And sometimes you can do that, and we still do that, but it's a lot. And I think often people just don't see all that goes into upkeeping something like a fucking video, an MMO, Upkeeping an entire game like this is just so much. But they could. I'm glad they communicated that. That's what they got to do, is communicate that, So they go in to say, my near future goals have been set up a bottom-up revisit of the game's money loops, revisiting old systems such as berry farming, finishing out and revisiting PvE instances, potentially like Battle Tower, and even having a new approach to battle AI for PvE battles, so we're not needing to put arbitrary restrictions on instances like the Elite Four. This is really fucking interesting. Improving AI potentially, improving the like NPCs and difficulty of PvM in certain instances. There's so much here. It's so nice of them to communicate all of this, dude. It's so fucking beautiful. So I can't. You gotta thank and appreciate when stuff like this does happen. Like, that is fucking awesome. Okay, so hell yeah. That's the two massive news points I wanted to mention. Other than that, let's just get back to work and continue our shiny hunts. There will probably be an achievement showcase after this, if I were to guess. Dude, I've heard tons of good things about the PokeForce demo. I've seen at least 2 people, and I'm not trying to disparage Pokemon because I'm having an absolute blast during Shiny War, and I'm so happy playing Pokemon. And I'm just sharing other sides and other perspectives. I've heard at least 2 other people who love Pokemon say that they had more fun in the PokeForce demo than they have in Pokemon in a while. Which I think is super like fair and valuable, right? Like, I've heard amazing things about the PokeForce demo. And what's even crazier is apparently they're supposed to be doing the PokeForce demo like at the end of like each month. Like, their goal right now is to do a demo at the once a month, which is fucking crazy. So PokeForce like really did they talked the talk. And now they're walking the walk, from what I've heard. Now, I have not played personally. I haven't had time, obviously, I'm doing this. But, like, it's looking real good, man. Green flags ahead. The vibes, I feel like, of the PokeForce community right now are, like, goddamn excellent. There's been so many update posts and stuff in the Discord. So many chats sent out that I've seen a little bit of. It seems pretty, like, yeah, amazing considering the state of it before. Apparently, they really fucking put the gas pedal down and got a ton of work done, dude. Dude, Sensei's asking a tough question, and I'll give you the fucking honest answer. It said, do you believe the boycott paid off with this update? I don't think... I could be wrong. I don't think that this update was a result of my boycott. I'll be so fucking honest. I don't think my boycott paid off. I'll be so fucking real. But I'm glad that I did it, because I don't want to be one of those people. I never want to sit there and run my mouth all the time and complain about something and never actually try to do something physical to fix it. I understand there were problems with and good critiques to be made about my boycott when I did it and all that stuff. But I don't want to be someone who just talks the talk constantly and never walks the walk. The boycott was at least something. It was imperfect, but it was something. It was a way to try to gather community support. And I think it did. A lot of people thankfully participated in it, right? And it was a way to show the devs that people were unhappy with the game. Unfortunately, there was a large portion of the community, I think, that like just wanted to be unhappy and not fix it. And I think thankfully, like, that's kind of, you know, honestly broken off and kind of left the game, which is awesome. But I think for a while, you have to, you never want to be that person who just like, we all know someone who wakes up every day and complains about something, but then never actually makes any, and it's okay to wake up and complain and be frustrated in events, but you don't want to do it for like, if you're complaining about the same thing like a year later, you've got to do something. You got to do something to, it can't be that long, you know? You've got to try to do, and it's tough, life is hard, and there's not always a great option, but you've got to do whatever you can in your control to make something better or adjust it or do whatever you can. And there are things you can do. There are things to empower yourself and do what you can. And for me, hosting a little boycott, you know, this was for those who don't know, this was like months. This was like 7 months ago now. It's a long time ago now. For me, it was something that I thought was the right thing to do. And I'm glad I stuck to my morals and stuck to my guns and took a sacrifice. I'm glad I did it because I think it shows that I stand on business, and I've stood on business consistently like this throughout PokeMMO. There's a lot of people who will just, once again, talk the talk, never walk the walk. And I don't want to be that personally, because that would irritate me. That would really irritate me. So that's my thoughts. I think it honestly didn't pay off pragmatically, but I held to my guns, and I'm proud I did it. You know, it's one of those things. I'm glad I wouldn't change it. I'm glad I did it. This is a fantastic question. I have no idea. Someone said, what do you think is the approximate net worth of your Iron Man account? I would love to do a video like outing that. I have genuinely no idea. A lot of my value is probably going to be in Pokemon. I have so many breeders and so many things like that in my boxes. Priceless? Not quite. We could put a money value on it. I mean, you know, that's a really, really good question. If I were to take what if I were to take a wild stab at it, a wild guess? I would think it's much less than the main account. you just build much less wealth on an Ironman account. Like, you don't get to buy like investments and things. I don't think my account is worth as much as people would think it is, honestly. I bet you my Ironman account is probably only worth about 100 mil or less. That'd be my guess. I think my main account is worth like 600 to 800 mil, I think. I obviously haven't played it for like way more time, but like the Ironman account just does not like develop and keep wealth. It's all in like Pokemon and stuff. There's like items wise, like you just don't have a lot. I have like mysterious balls, but I'm even gonna pop those, you know, this event. Like after popping the mysterious balls, I bet you it's like 50 mil or less after like popping mysterious balls and fossils. I thought I have that much in those, but like, so I don't know. I don't think I have a whole lot, honestly. I don't think the value of this account is that high, honestly. Because once the way you just collect things and go for things, you just don't. And my Pokeyen stack being spent on Leppas. Well, I guess after Leppas. So, okay. I have 25,000 Leppas. And those are like 760 a piece. That's like 20 mil value, right? So like, I know, yeah, that makes sense. I think after popping all my fossils, all my Leppas, and all my mysterious balls, I probably go from about 100 mil value down to about like 50 mil. Maybe like 80 to 100 mil down to 50 mil. So that'd be my guess. I bet you my Ironman account is currently worth about 80 to 100 mil. And I bet you it goes down to like 50 mil post this event. I probably lose about half of my account's net worth because of Shiny War. But it's worth it, boys. No, he didn't. Okay, for reference, I wish I had timestamps on this. I literally just typed in chat, everyone here will get a shiny in 3, 2, ... And then this motherfucker, Chasith, actually got a shiny. What the fuck? No. I'm never beating the dev allegations. Lion Sandslash? Where? No. Is there another one? Lion Shiny Sandslash? I'm on channel 2. When they're on channel, Lion has one too? What channel? I'm never beating the Dev Trowski allegations. That's the problem with I can't do shit like this. It's gonna, dude, what? Channel 1? I wasn't on that channel, to be fair, but I literally said everybody gets a shiny in 3, 2, 1, and 2 shinies happened. What the fuck? Where's he at? Dude, also the Togetic lead. Did he calc that? Am I crazy or was that insanely scary? Did he calc that? Did he know that would do that? I just had a fucking heart attack. He tricked Sash? He's the fucking GOAT. Okay, as someone who didn't see the first part of that fight, that was so fucking scary. And Anti-Viper as well? Okay, I'm not at that spot, so I can't even... We shot like 3 shinies in chat. After saying everybody gets a shiny 3, 2, 1. Trick Sash is wild? Dude, that fucking scared the hell out of me. That was crazy to witness. We take those, dude. 3 shinies from the community in chat and streamers. Ah! Dude, it's really beautiful and wholesome. I've had multiple people be like, it's nostalgic seeing you hunt Cranidos. Like, that's a crazy feeling that I've been doing this for this long, that people are nostalgic for, like, my shiny hunts, dude. That is a fucking privilege. That is a privilege and an honor that people even care that much at all, you know? Like, that's insane, dude. I'm happy to be here, guys. Much love to you. You guys are fucking so nice. That's crazy to think about, dude. It's nostalgic to sit here and pop these skull fossils, and it's so much better. I can just sit here and hold. I don't have to like run back and forth between the PC like I had to last time, and it was so much harder when I last did this, dude. Even on a main account, you know. Dude, congrats to Hypers, who just got himself a shiny Skorupi, egg hatched shiny Skorupi. 1 times 31. Wait, dude, this is fucking sick. Were you like randomly breeding with just like one? I assume like 1 times 31 dittos from a box, dude. Congratulate. Hyper like really deserved a shiny like this during war, man. That's fucking sick, dude. Beautiful shiny, nice and small. Congratulations to you, Hyper. Cool to see, dude. Team Synergy's been popping off today. I think they just jumped up to like 6th place. I should show the leaderboards here in a quick sec. Wait, I'm so slow. I didn't realize this is just a perfect timer for when Shiny War ends. I didn't even realize that. This charm up here, it's obviously the one during war, but it's the perfect timer. This represents when war is over. So there's 27 days and 4 hours left in war. Perfect. Beautiful. Almost out of time, guys. Dude, this might be the best shiny in Shiny War so far. Noonan the fucking memer. Noonan the memer. Look at the IVs too. Careful is like weirdly like you could do something with it. You probably breed it up or whatever, but like Shalfa Drillbur with Kanto Friends and other particle effects. Dude. Multiple particle effects. Shalfa Drillbur. I think that this is the best shiny of the Shiny War so far. Is that Team Rad to give proper credit? That is fucking impressive. That is the coolest shiny I think in the war so far. Congrats to Noonan. That's beautiful, man. That is so sick. Turbo Omega Giga, congratulations. That is so special and fucking beautiful, dude. I wish we could have multiple battle hotbars like we can have with more normal hotbars, so I could have mine set up for E4 rerunning. Someone actually just made a forum post. It was a great suggestion box post asking about that, and I was thinking the same thing because I'm constantly switching out my different Pokeballs that I want for different catch events. So it's funny you mentioned that, Magic Genie. Someone literally like just made a forum post about that pretty recently, and I think Zutu, I think Zutu respond or Vuku. He was the dev they brought on to help with coding the iOS app. Like years ago, one of the first devs they brought on in a very, very long time. And I believe he responded and was like, yeah, that's pretty much, he basically was like, that's a pretty good idea. The main thing is that like we can't just make it bigger. It would have to be scrolling similar, have multiple similar to the this one, because it wouldn't fit on mobile UI if it was like just big or whatever. So it seems like they want to add that in a future update or whatever potentially. It's funny you brought that up. It was just mentioned on a suggestion box and it was a great suggestion from a player. All right, it is time for either your least favorite or most favorite part of the stream recap, the MOVIETROUSKI take. This is where I go through a bunch of movies that I've watched recently and I've logged over on Letterboxd, just a dumb little website where I like to log movies to keep my own memories and also just share my dumb little thoughts. This is going to be a very sleepy, very staggered MOVIETROUSKI take, but I will try my best to give my thoughts. First things first, rewatched I Am Legend. My wife had never seen it. I think this movie is near perfect. I gave it a 9.8 out of 10. I think it is super under-respected. I think people do not respect like the subtle fucking like beauty of this. I think I Am Legend is like weirdly a smart movie, which I hate to say that compliment, but like it's really, really well done. It's a very patient movie. It's a little formulaic and it's not the most original structure in the world, but it's very original. I don't know. It's really well done. It's well executed. It's not the most original thing in general, but it's just so well executed and so well done. And I think it has such an atmosphere to it. And I love both of the different endings. I Am Legend is a near perfect movie, in my opinion, 9.8 out of 10. Okay. I'm a huge I Am Legend fan. Okay. I Am Legend fan. Yep. Next up, The Invite. I think The Invite is my favorite movie of the year. Now it's only, what is it, August? People always, get ahead of themselves. It's August. It might change. I think this movie, it kills me that The Odyssey is in theaters right now with like 2 or 3 other movies that are better than it, in my personal humble opinion. I gave The Odyssey a 7.8. I think I even rated Toy Story 5 higher than The Odyssey. There is The Invite, Toy Story 5, and Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I think are all significantly better than The Odyssey, all in theaters right now. But the main thing people are talking about is The Odyssey. The Odyssey is good, but it makes me a little sad. There's just more beauty. There's more great movies out there, right? The Invite is fucking amazing. I gave this movie an 11 out of 10. If you like snappy dialogue and like quick social tensions and like conversation-based content, you will love The Invite. It's the comedy and the humor was so much better than I expected, and incredibly my fucking tempo. I'm just gonna read my review. Genuinely one of the purest showings of unreal acting I've ever seen from everyone involved. At no point did I remember that I was watching a movie. I was so fucking lost in the dialogue. I felt like I was in the room. Everything I'm going to say to compliment this movie sounds so fucking corny, because I honestly lack the wordplay that this movie accomplished to be able to express how sick this movie is. There's like so many beautiful parts. I'm going to stop there, but like if you want to see my whole review, it's over on Letterboxd. I think The Invite is the best movie I've seen this year so far. I think this movie is fucking awesome. So if I could recommend you to watch one movie on today's list, it is by far The Invite. It is incredibly good. Super good. Next up, Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage. This is like a fun, wacky, I mean, it's Nicolas Cage. I love him, dude. Fun, wacky, like detective thing. It has some really cool directing in it. I believe it's directed by the same guy who did Scarface. Yup, Brian De Palma. It's directed by the same guy who did Scarface. I haven't seen Carrie, but Carrie, the first Mission Impossible. It's a very, Brian De Palma, very renowned director. He also did Casualties of War, which I believe is also in this. Yep, also in this MOVIETROUSKI take. So fan of his style, but there's just a lot of weird. The directing is really cool in this. This movie is just like not super serious and has some weird long shots and it's kind of goofy, but it's a fun movie. It's just not the most interesting thing in the world, but it's pretty fun. Mars. If you don't know Mars, this is like a super niche, like not super niche, super low budget animated movie from the people who were in the comedy troupe Whitest Kids You Know. So if you're familiar with WKUK, Zach Krager, who went on to do Barbarian and Weapons, he was in that comedy troupe. Very Jordan Peele, esque pathway where he went from sketch comedian to horror movie expert. And same thing as John Carpenter, the legendary John Carpenter, who I'm actually like not a fan of his movies at all, but he's a great respected horror movie director. He was a sketch comedian actually. Yeah, rest in peace, Trevor Moore. John Carpenter, a lot of people don't know, was a sketch comedian back in like his college days, and then he went into horror later on. So there's a lot of like, ever since like the 70s, there's always been like sketch comedians getting into horror, which is really, really interesting. But Mars was an animated film from those guys, and it just holds a special place in my heart. I wouldn't really recommend others to watch it. It's not really for me. If you liked Whitest Kids You Know, I would recommend watching it. But it's a niche thing that I love and I cherish. Next up, The Oz, the Great and the Powerful. Dude, I really weirdly like this movie. This movie is not very well received. It's James Franco and Mila Kunis. Let me see. I give this movie a 7.4 out of 10. I'm also a sucker. It's directed by Sam Raimi, the same guy who did the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. And it has that like comic book style. The same guy who did Evil Dead, the same guy who did Send Help, that new movie like recently that was really fucking good in my opinion. So it has that like over the top cartoony kind of vibe. It has got James Franco, Mila Kunis, and a few other people. And it has this crazy split where it goes from being like black and white and then all the way to like the super vibrant colors. The CGI in this movie looks really goofy and all the graphics in the movie look really goofy, but I think that was kind of the point. I think it was a stylistic choice and I really like it, but got a lot of big flaws. I give it a 7.4 out of 10. I love everything Wizard of Oz. I'm a sucker for it, honestly, but I decently enjoy Oz, Great and Powerful. The Trust. This is a like heist movie with Nicolas Cage and I'm blanking on his name. Fucking Frodo Baggins. No, I can't. Elijah Wood. Sorry, Nicolas Cage and Elijah Wood are like crooked cops, and I don't want to spoil too much, but they're like crooked cops, and they kind of like scheme together over something, and it's a really quiet, patient, tense movie. There's not a lot of big action. There's not a lot of big like crazy soundtracks. It was obviously very low budget, and it's really interesting and unique, and it's really cool to see those two have a pretty interesting dynamic. I don't know if I'd recommend others to watch it. I don't know if it's super worth your time, but if you love Elijah Wood or love Nicolas Cage, it's definitely an underrated, like pretty interesting, neat little movie. I think there is a good movie. My review is, I think there is a good movie buried here behind some pretty uninteresting directing, editing, and overall production. The production is just really, really low budget and really low quality, and it feels like that. Unlike a movie like Obsession, which was low budget, but like felt really amazing. So it doesn't always, it's not always a budget thing. It was like what you do with it, right? But The Trust is pretty interesting. So I give it a 6.4 out of 10. It's not like super worth your time, but it's a cool little movie. Scary Movie 5. I watched this while the wife was away, and this movie is notoriously hated. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. This movie is great because it's not really a movie. Every single joke and every single bit is so independent of each other. You don't have to pay attention at all to like enjoy dumb, awful, stupid little gags here and there. I gave it like a 5 out of 10. Not a whole lot to talk about there. Next up, I rewatched Brigsby Bear, one of my top 4 favorite movies. Once again, not really a movie I'd recommend to others. I don't know if Brigsby Bear is for everybody, but I love this movie. I just really I feel with it. I vibe with it. I fuck with it. It's from Kyle Mooney. And yeah, I did my Obsession. Did you watch Obsession already? I probably did my review on that like 2 months ago. Like when I think I watched it like night one, or like really, that was a long time ago. It's probably in my stream recaps somewhere, but I don't know which one, so I'm so sorry. I didn't watch Lee Cronen's The Mummy. I'm kind of interested. I've heard really mixed reviews on that. I'm kind of interested, but I'm interested. Brigsby Bear, though, I love this movie. It's a lot about like naive optimism and like hopeful creativity. It's a movie that leaves you feeling with like a good feeling in your stomach. I think it's cute and wholesome. I love Brigsby Bear, man. It's one of my favorite movies. I probably watched it like 4 times now, and I watched it with a friend for the first time. We started a movie club in our friend group, and I was lucky enough to win the spin on the wheel and be the first person to pick the first movie for the month, and the movie I picked was Brigsby Bear. So Brigsby Bear, rewatch it with a friend. I love it, man. It's a classic. 10 out of 10. One of my top 4 favorite movies of all time. Next up, The Benchwarmers. The Benchwarmers is just like a nostalgia. It's like David Spade, John Heder, Rob Schneider. Fuck it, this is like peak trash early 2000s comedies, and I love The Benchwarmers because I paid like $7 to pick it up at a 7-Eleven when I was like 11 years old, and because of that, it was one of the few DVDs that I owned growing up, which means that I watched it a ton. So I just have a lot of nostalgia for it. I love this movie. It has a really cute message, honestly, behind it. I also love Nick Swardson. You can find me over on Letterboxd. I'm just letterboxd.com/Patrouski. I really like The Benchwarmers. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10. I don't think I'm giving it a higher score because that's how I feel about it. I love this movie. But if I'm objectively rating it, it's probably like a 7 out of 10 at best. But I love it, man. It's a fun, cool movie. Casualties of War. Really, really, really hard watch. I have to be careful. Like, this is a movie about Vietnam and about some of the not so great things that we may have done in Vietnam. And it's really well told. My main problem is, I don't know how I feel about Michael J. Fox as the lead, but Sean Penn is in this, and Sean Penn is fucking insane. He's the guy from, well, you know him from a bunch of things probably, but, the Zoomers like myself will probably know him from One Battle After Another, where he's like the fucking military like kind of guy. He's always had it. He was insane. This is from 1989, Casualties of War, directed by Brian De Palma, the same guy who did Scarface. Really dramatic wartime movie. And there's some moments that like feel like they're obviously meant to be dramatic and don't land as well because they're like, it's too early for moments like that, but the story being told here is really beautiful, and it's based on a true story, which I'm a sucker for any based on a true story movie, especially a based on a true story military movie. Fucking catch me on some Hacksaw Ridge shit. Oh my god, Hacksaw Ridge is like top 20 movies, maybe top 10 movies of all time. I love me some Hacksaw Ridge. So Casualties of War, not as feel good as Hacksaw Ridge, but Casualties of War, weirdly poetic, and weirdly it has a very peaceful ending, even though it's incredibly sad and hard to watch movie. Definitely worth watching at some point in your life. Definitely worth watching at least at one point in your life. I gave it an 8.2 out of 10 and a like. Next up, the final movie, The Color of Pomegranates. This is, I believe, I don't want to get this wrong. I think it's like a Soviet Armenian film. I'm so apologies if I'm getting that wrong. This film is often described as visual poetry, and it's meant to be a retelling of someone's life. And this is the least I've ever understood a movie. It's from 1969. This is the least I've ever understood a movie in my entire life. My entire life. It's meant to, tell the story of an Armenian poet and musician, Sayat Nova. In all due respect, I just didn't understand this movie in a lot of ways. I didn't connect with it. The ending scene is really interesting. I'm a very dialogue and like verbal person. Visual poetry, I just did not hit with me. this was just not for me. And maybe I shouldn't have watched it because of that, but this was just not my movie at all, with all due respect. And I even say in my review, I say, I apologize for the low score on this movie that obviously connect with a lot of people. It's a very highly rated movie, but this is the least I've ever been able to connect with a movie and appreciate in my life. These are just my honest feelings. You know, it's just my thoughts, right? Just my dumb little opinion. I'm probably missing something, and I probably just can't intake this movie, but I just did not connect with it at all, and it was honestly a waste of my time watching it personally, but it'll stick with me in some ways. So it's an interesting story to tell in some ways, and maybe someone else will watch this review and fucking love this movie and super connect with it, and if that happens, that's super worth it. So honestly, hell yeah, that's you survived the movie Trousty Takes. Get yourself a t-shirt that says I survived the movie Trousty Takes. There you go. Let me know what movies I should watch next in the comments below. I'm always taking suggestions. I can't always promise I'll get to them, but I'll add pretty much most things to my watch list and do what I can to get to it. All right, this is post-stream, but I wanted to go ahead and throw in a leaderboard update within the stream recap to let people know in live time what's going on, as well as historically what was happening, what did the scores look like around this time. This is coming towards the end of day 1, keep in mind, which is absolutely insane. As I'm recording, it is currently 6:30 p.m. on day 1, and the 24-hour mark will be at 8 p.m. So it's about 22 and a half hours into the event. We have Team Eclipse strongly in the lead at 1,036 points within less than 24 hours into the event. Absolutely bonkers. ETG team on their fucking trail and kind of fighting in back and forth, but falling a little bit behind here at this point at 871. Beans at 661 in third. Cinema at 578. Kraken at 567. Rad at 557. 508 for Team Void. 506 for Espartanos. Oh goodness. Apologies. Yep. 497 for Horde the Minchai Dynasty, and 467 for the Galaxy Squad. And my team at the current time, at the, coming towards the end of day 1, is down around rank 18 or so, which I'm not super happy with, but it's one of those things, like, as long as I'm putting in the hours and doing my grind and doing what I can, that's all you can do, and so are my teammates. It's really just coming down to RNG at this point and trying to figure out where we stand, what we can do, and everything we can do within our control. So we're doing what we can, and it's just coming down to getting those shinies in the long-term marathon elements of the war right now. But already, fellas, I said I would stream for about 6 hours or so until 6 p.m. and I did, and that's day 1. Day 1 actually officially comes to a close in 2 hours, okay? The event started at 8 p.m. on the 31st. It is now July 1st as I'm recording. I'm counting this as day 1.5, but honestly, all of this has still been part of day 1. It's been a 24-hour cycle. I have grinded and shiny hunted for, once I get to the 8-hour mark, 21 hours out of the first 24 hours of the event, which I'm very proud of, but I have a lot more to go. I have a whole month to go. So honestly, it means nothing if I don't keep this up and stay consistent and be healthier and get better sleep upcoming each single day from this point forward. So I will see you guys later. Did I say July 1st? I meant August 1st. Fuck, whatever. You can tell I'm a little sleepy. Have a great day. Like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike if not, subscribe for daily Pokemon videos. I do upload every single day. Follow the Twitch for crazy long streams like this during Shiny War. Discord's down below if you want to go above. What am I saying? Just have a great day. Good luck on your shinies. Have some cool moments. Get some cool memories. And make fucking memories in Shiny War. Have a great day. Bye, guys. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I want to take this moment to say thank you to everybody who goes above and beyond, and thank you as the viewer to making it to the end of the video. I hope it was helpful today and maybe even a little bit of fun. Thanks again for watching, and have a good one.